Today is Wednesday, January 28th, and this is your forecast for the central United States, and it is just absolutely frigid through much of the middle of the country, the eastern part of the country, and we got temperatures that are 30 degrees colder than what they should be at this point in January. The fact that it's January alone, you know it's cold, but it's just extremely cold compared to normal. And that is the case all the way down to the Gulf Coast. And we've seen some of that cold weather spilling down the Florida Peninsula. So there's really no escape from this except for maybe in parts of Southern California, where over the next couple of days, temperatures there are going to climb into the 80s. We could only dream of that here in the Midwest. We're only 9 degrees today in Minneapolis. That's your high, by the way. A high of 15 in Grand Rapids with ongoing lake effect snow showers. Actually, there's a little front coming through that's kind of helping to enhance that. Mid-teens for Detroit, Cleveland, and Chicago today. A high of only 15 in Pittsburgh, 18 in Cincy, 22 in Louisville, just barely making it above freezing for a little bit here today in Nashville and Memphis, where, of course, in the central part of Tennessee, we're recovering from that ice storm. Going to see some of those ice chunks really falling off there, the trees and the power lines as we warm up above freezing. So in the Midwest, I mean, we are just in the ice box here through the start of the weekend, probably even through the entire weekend, I'd say. And not that mid and upper 20s is a whole lot better, but it is. You know, at least we're going to get into the 20s, you know, not above freezing, but 20s. It's at least moving in the right direction. In Chicago, we'll see those 20s into the weekend and maybe even approaching the freezing mark by the middle of next week. We'll see. 23 today in Washington, D.C. For the rest of the southeast here on the map, we got temperatures peaking in the 40s for Wilmington, Charlotte, and Charleston. Only 54 today in Savannah. 52, that's the high in New Orleans. 42 in Dallas, 58 the high in Tampa, and even all the way down in Miami, we're only going to get to 67. By the way, wind chills in South Florida this morning in the 40s. Yeah, it's cold all the way down. I said there's no escape except for maybe in Southwest and maybe Southern California. So in Charlotte, we're in the 40s here through the end of the week, and then a really cold spell comes in for the weekend. I don't think we're going to get above freezing Saturday, maybe Sunday, and then we sort of climb out of that here early next week. In Fort Lauderdale, it is windy this morning, so those wind chills are easily down into the 40s. That is like winter parka weather for South Floridians. We got a chilly feel that stays with us this afternoon with lots of clouds and maybe even a passing shower this evening. The rough stretch of weather for you here in Florida, and unfortunately it only gets worse. So, you know, all the way down into southern Florida for a high to be in the 50s. You know it's going to be much colder the rest of the state of Florida, and this is the kind of cold that causes iguanas to fall out of the trees. At night, pipes freeze. You know, it's going to cause all sorts of problems this weekend. So just a heads up on that. It's going to be really cold come later Saturday night, and into Sunday. So that is your Wednesday morning weather update. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of the week. Please stay warm, take care of each other, and remember, you know, we've got to be optimistic that as long as you want there to be, there will always be a 100% chance of good things.